This is May's Design Corner, and I am doing a collab styling a vintage item. And it's hosted by the Grace Life DIY Home Decor, Sandy Lynn's Home and Garden, Stephanie's Traditional Home, and Barbie Daily Rule Life in the Valley, and me, May's Design Corner. And date is April the 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, I hope you all are still praying. I haven't heard anything from Edith. If anyone has heard anything from Edith, please let me know. I'm going in and on her the last notice that she made, I went and put in another prayer on that last notice. So Edith, we're all praying for you and hoping that God has given you direct healing. We're praying for a healing. Okay, let's get started with my vintage items. I'm going to show you what my son has set up for me. There are vintage items here. Here we have an old vintage pipe right here. Can you just imagine someone sitting by the fireplace and smoking that pipe and coming out? My grandfather used to smoke a pipe, but he had the black lung disease, and he put in his pipe a medicine that used to be called Green Mountain. And it would help him stop coughing and spitting up. And I tell you, as I remember from a child, that Green Mountain smelled just like marijuana to me. So I don't know, but I think years ago they had that too. And that's been over 60 some years ago when my grandfather was alive. He had the black lung disease, or they also call it silicosis. So that's the pipe. He smoked a pipe like that. And here is an old vintage travel clock right here. Let me pick that up. And you see it comes in its own case. And you set it up like this. It's an old vintage travel clock. Isn't that beautiful and old? Look at that. That is so nice. And I'm going to set that back down there. And here is a ring. An old vintage ring. There you go. And then here is the most things that we think is very, very good. These are Girl Scout pins from way back when. Girl Scout pins from way back when. There you go. The membership Girl Scout pins. And of course, we have this cross that my husband had. It says, "Be joyful in hope." Hope is patient in affection, faithful in prayer. And that's Romans 12 and 12. Look like 12 and 12. I don't know that scripture. Be joyful in hope. Patient in be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Okay, Romans 12 and 17. Okay, and then here we have a key, an old key. And also, look here. Y'all know grandparents probably use these. This is an old thimble. An old thimble right here. And I also have a smaller size thimble. Look at that. We don't use thimbles anymore, but we should, because we should be still sewing like our parents did. And these old salt and pepper shakers, aren't they beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. We have the pear. I'm going to put them in my hand so you can see the pear. The old salt and pepper shakers. There they are right there. And then here, I'm not going to pick it up, but it's an old necklace, a vintage necklace that goes here like this. So this is my vintage items that I have set up in an area for you to see. I hope you like what I have presented to you. And again, I would like to thank honor of the Grace Life DIY Home and Decor. I also would like to thank Sandy Lynn, Home and Garden, and Stephanie's Traditional Home, and Barbie Daly Rural Life in the Valley. Oh, y'all, I thank you all so very much for this beautiful collab, and I hope you like my vintage items that I have presented to you. Don't forget to pray for someone else besides yourself, and always know that God is alive and well. And if Edith is looking, Edith, we're holding it in the ground. We're standing in the gap for your healing. This is May's Design Corner saying adieu and thank you.